Hey, Anime Magician here, and welcome to 2019! A new year, and there's gonna be new debates for what is the best anime of last year, as always. So I'll be giving you my personal opinion about which I think are the best animes of 2018. However, I'm not gonna add any animes that are starting their second season like Boku no Hero, Overlord, or any of that stuff, so don't expect that, okay? Okay, very good. So let's get started with the anime that made an impact on winter 2018. This anime was made by A1 Pictures and its name is Darling in Franxx. With the rim haircut. This anime was great. I managed to get all the signatures that I wanted for the English dub, but apparently I couldn't get the Japanese voice actors, so sad moment there. Sad. Anyway, this anime made an impact because first, it wasn't like a regular mecha anime that we see every time, like with Gundam and all that stuff. This anime was more like an apocalyptic time where humanity was in brink of destruction, and I did like the plot, but however, it threw me off a little bit in the end. How first they were fighting these monsters called clock swords, and after that they're battling aliens, and Zero Two turns into a giant majestic mecha, which I have no complaints whatsoever. And somehow I still feel a little bit complex about how Ichigo, no, not that Ichigo, this Ichigo, kissed Hiro while he actually belonged to Zero Two since they were little kids, so yeah. That's a bitch move right there. But anyway, this anime was great, the storyline was great. I was not disappointed on how the art style was, and I think that A1 Pictures did an amazing job with this anime specifically. And they better make a movie because the ending threw me off a bit. Another anime which I consider a good piece of work from 2018 and made from A1 Pictures as well is Wotakoi ni Koi wa Musukashi, which is translated to Wotakoi, Love is Hard for an Otaku. This is a romance anime, and honestly, I like romance anime. And this hit the spot on being really good on a romance base. Since so many people can relate this to themselves and while being an otaku, because we can be sometimes shy because not many people know about anime. Or we think that not many people know about anime, and we're gonna think like, oh no, they're gonna talk bad about us, they're gonna think we're geeks. Even though we are, sort of. Anyway, this anime, you can relate it to yourself. Also, it's in a different theme, it's more about coming out from work, meeting people from work, in which you can relate as well if you're already working in some office or any type of job. You meet people, you talk to people, sometimes you make friends with your coworkers. Who knows, you might be even dating them. And honestly, I think this is the best romance of 2018. Yeah, I said it. Next up, we have Cells at Work, which is an anime that explains about the body by giving your cells and bacteria's personalities. For example, giving the white cells personality of being violent sometimes because they have to fight off bacteria, but at the same time they can be gentle, as in real life they're basically fighting bacteria aggressively. And another characteristic that you can find is the red blood cells. They have their red suits, which represents blood, and they deliver oxygen as they're supposed to. Basically it's UPS on your body. And I learned a lot more about cells than in my biology teacher's class, which honestly I think she's gonna get mad if she sees this video. Either way, this anime was great. The red blood cell is getting lost, she's always getting into trouble, gets rescued by the white blood cell, and it gets pretty funny, right, Face? Yeah, you're right. Okay, on to the next one. And it's my personal favorite from 2018, and it's made by Zero G, called Granblue, which honestly I think this is the most funniest anime that has ever come out during this year, probably my entire life. Honestly, this anime made me laugh way too much, more than Prison School, and another anime which I completely forgot its name, but doesn't matter anyway. The story was great as well because this anime, you can actually relate it to yourself. Like, for example, me, I can relate this because I go to college. There are clubs as well, which I am in one. And you go to places with your college buddies where, like, for example, to the beach or any other exotic places. You make money by going to different works, like in every, like, not in every person's life, but we experience somewhat of it. And not only that, you can get, this anime can also be, like, misleading at first, and because first it was supposed to be about, like, swimming and all that stuff, but then it's more about, like, this, the character's, like, main life and not that much about, like, swimming. But either way, at the end, they keep their promise. They go to this place where they swim, but however, the main character did not get to go. What a shame. But still, it's fucking funny. You can't deny that. And I definitely do recommend this anime for those who like comedy. Like, honestly, you need to watch this anime once you get the chance after this video. Or right now. Well, in the fall of 2018, we had the most upcoming animes that most people were watching. One of them was this anime called Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Which honestly, this anime was more about how this person has to deal with his problems, like we all deal in our daily lives, through going through puberty, high school problems, personal problems, one of our friends' problems, like Jesus Christ. And also, what this anime had that was different is that they had this syndrome called puberty syndrome, where strange things happen. And here's the thing, that actually that syndrome happened to the character in the past and it's affecting him again, but he, at the end, he ends up in, like, being in a relationship with this girl that he met with a bunny suit. Pretty weird, right? And pretty random. But anyway, this anime was great. Like, you can actually, like, notice how much work they put into it, how much sense it makes. The science behind it, how they explain a bunch of things, which I forgot because I'm not really good in science, so that's that. And next we have That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Wait, what? A slime? Is that right, man? Alright, just making sure. This isekai anime was much more different than any other isekai that I have watched so far because, well, at least it's not that much different from Overlord. The reason why I say this is because this isekai, like, it has the same plot still like other isekai. You die and you come back, but this time you come back as a monster. And so as an Overlord, when that guy gets trapped in a video game and you pretty much forget through the entire anime that he was actually human and not an actual skeleton. But anyway, this anime was great in introducing its backstory, its characters, explaining his love for this girl that he basically eat up. That's a pretty tragic moment anyways. And here's the thing, this anime has more open feel to it, if you know what I mean. Like, it explains, like, he goes to different places that not many animes do that. Like, for example, in another world with my smartphone, like, the field, he does have a bunch of fields, but it's more about, like, city type. This anime, they go from forest to city to wasteland, and it has much more open variety on landscape. And they actually, like, have the creatures they live in there match with the landscape. There are dwarves that live in cities, there are goblins, there are dire wolves that live in the forest. Then there was this, what's it called? Orc that came from the desert, which I have no idea how that one matched, but anyways, I'm not arguing right now. This anime was great. And well, after all those good animes, we go to the most darkest 2018 anime, which at the end it was pretty good, honestly. And its name is Goblin Slayer. which you don't need any more explanations because the title already explains what it's already about. The anime is more about this person that he hunts for goblins, but he makes relationships with other people. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's basically what I just said earlier, like basically hunting goblins, but in this time it's more about like how his experiences with other people hunting goblins and how he changed from being so dark and so solitary with just being himself alone hunting goblins. He go hang out with people, and at the end he wants to be an adventurer, which I don't blame him because his life was pretty damn sad. Like holy shit, the amount of sadness and darkness that was in this anime and his backstory. And the last one that triggered everyone and was made by Trigger themselves, SSS. Jesus, how do you spell it? Let me check. S. 1, 2, 3, 4. SSSS Gridman, which honestly is the first anime that did not have a crappy CGI, and the art actually blends in with CGI, so there was no problems with the animation. Like the art style was great. Them thighs were great. Compared to Overlord, this shit is way more better than that on CGI based. And what I do like about this anime is that it's something different that I want to watch on 2018 or any other mecha anime, because on mecha animes you usually see people already piloting mechas like Darling Franxx or the Gundams. Like everyone already knows about these pilots and their mechas. However, in this anime, they made a being called Gridman, where they tried to capture this other being that created monster with the help of a human. And what they do is like they go through a series of enemies, kaijus, that they have to go against and try to figure out who was this person that was creating these kaijus and capturing the villain. The storyline was great, and I have no complaints here that the storyline could have been better, but honestly, how they put it, how they built the story, how they explained how the entire world was working, it was pretty good how they did it. So I can't complain that much about it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button and that like button, and see you on the next one.